Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, gonna be a match between Whiteraw and this 19 tlrks player that I've cast a few times. It's a pretty good Protoss player. He can go macro with anybody that he goes against. So, bottom right side-ish of Tornado, we've got ourselves a 19 tlrks. We're gonna call him 19, and then bottom leftish, we got Whiteraw, the Ukrainian Protoss player. Alright, so I'm going to cast I've been casting one PvP every single month at a request from a patron of mine named Daniel. And if you like PvP, go ahead and thank Daniel in the comments. And let's go ahead and get right on into it here. There we go. Reveal the entire map. So, Tornado, kind of cool stuff. Got a ninja star in the middle, which is interesting for sure. Your main base is a little big. Little big compared to other maps for sure. Narrow ramp down to your natural, walling off, not a big deal. But there's not a Zerg here. You have this interesting place you can set up high ground. It's like you can set up tanks up here, I guess. Have I seen a TV, like a TVT or a TVP or something here? I don't know. Seems like a good tank position, doesn't it? But yeah, this is going to be a 4-player map, so it's a real big one. Tons of places to expand. You got expansions to go to, like regular expansions with only one way up, right? Anyway, bit of a wider ramp to deal with. So, again, not a lot of this matters for PvP. It's really kind of more of a PvZ thing if you care about how wide the ramps are, you know? Anyway, Whiteraw scouting out the correct direction does end up seeing where 19T is. I'm just going to call him 19. Didn't I say that? I think I did. But yeah, both players going gateway first. Nobody cannon rushing here today. And information that Whiteraw has that 19 does not have, unfortunately. Zealot's on the way from 19. He's just worried about potential, I don't know, incoming proxy. It's a lot scarier, right? If you don't know what your opponent is up to. And then is he... Wait. Is he tossing down? He is. You can't see it on the mini-map. And the color of the thing doesn't show up when it's warping in. Look at that. You can't tell there's a white... Yeah, there's a pylon coming in from Whiteraw right here, but it doesn't show up on the mini-map at all. Thanks for nothing, mini-map, honestly. Yeah, and then maybe worrying that it's a cannon rush. Anyway, Zealot has to come out. 19's like, what? And Whiteraw's like, what? And then he just, it just messes with the pathing of the probes here. It's a fairly standard thing we see in PvP. Not in other matchups, but PvP for sure. So, loses a pylon, no big deal. Cybercore on the way from Whiteraw. And on the other side, no Cybercore yet. There it is. So substantially behind, which seems like a problem if you're going to be 19 here. As I mentioned previously, Whiteraw, as you all know, is Ukrainian. I hope that he is staying safe with the conflict that's going on in his country right now. I haven't seen him on Twitter recently, but I assume if something... assume he's safe. If something terrible had happened to him, I think we'd have heard about it. But anyway, best of wishes to you, Whiteraw. You're just nothing but a wonderful ambassador for StarCraft. Everybody loves you. You love everyone, and that's kind of what makes you Whiteraw, you know? Ooh. Finding the exact range of this probe where it can actually hit the Zealot? Wait, but only sometimes? Was that missing its attack? Did you see that? It was like zap, 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 and then it hit once. I wonder if it was technically on high ground. What a weird interaction that was. Very, very strange interaction. Anyway, Whiteraw's ahead. He's got Singularity Charge on the way substantially before 19 does. 19 is going Robo. Oh my gosh, 19, are you going for Reavers instead of Dragoon range first? This is weird. PvPs can get weird sometimes. They can be very normal sometimes too, where you just have a bunch of Dragoons attacking other Dragoons, and it's like, all right, well, this is Dragoon versus Dragoon battle. Excellent. But then we start getting things like Reavers and High Templar. We get drops, and drops are a big part of PvP for sure. Probably more so than any other matchup. We see Storm drops and Reaver drops against other Protoss more than any other race. It's kind of weird, right? Like, you would expect them to be dropping a lot against Terran and Protoss. And I guess there's recalls that happen against Terran. And you do see Storm drops and Reaver drops against Zerg sometimes. But I feel like PvP just has the most of it. The most of it. So Protoss knows the pain when they enact it against you, Zerg and Terran friends. So, okay, getting Singularity Charge now. But what's the further... It's another gateway and an observatory. Wow. So he delayed Singularity Charge in order to go for prevention of DT Rush. which he doesn't have to worry about because that's not what White Raw is doing. But he doesn't know that. He's completely in the dark and he's afraid. And he's making sure he has detection faster than he normally would. And you know what? I don't know that he's wrong to do it either. It's kind of putting him behind, but I mean, better safe than sorry against someone as excellent at this game as White Raw is. So 3 Dragoons show up, but there's 3 Dragoons defending here from T19 as well. I keep wanting to call him like TK or something. It's just 19. Just 19. His name is 19. It's cool. It's cool. Both players, yeah, there we go. Observer on the way from 19. And a shuttle coming in for White Raw. Those, you know, the special tactics. He's very good with shuttles. He likes using them in every matchup, but again, PvP. The most droppiest of matchups in the entire world. Probe sniped. Robotic support bay on the way from 19. So we are going Reavers here. Cool. So 1 base Reaver. White Rose recognized that 19 hasn't expanded yet, so he's a little bit worried to expand himself, obviously. I don't know. I'm interested that he hasn't. So shuttles up, and he's getting his own support bay. So he is going to go for Reaver drops of his own. Man, Reaver drop versus Reaver drop is going to be a little bit interesting today for sure. We'll have to see. We'll have to see who gets the hits off here. Again, the money's probably on White Raw. I think he's ahead, but I don't know. The worker count's even. Nobody has a second base yet. Nobody's even trying to get a second base yet. So, is anybody really ahead? And I would say no. The fact that Singularity Charge was delayed for 19 doesn't really matter. He's got it now. He's got Reaver Tech coming before White Raw does, so he's ahead on that, and he's even on the other stuff. And yeah, I would say 19 is doing this okay. He's feeling fine. You know, maybe wander down, just straight up naked expand. Like, yo! Actually, he has an observer out, doesn't he? Yeah, where is it? Where is his obs? Is it flying around here? Can't find his obs. It was out. I swear I saw it. Very strange. I don't know where his obs went. Maybe it died. Maybe this obs detected it, and then Dragoons went brah, brah, brah. Murderized it real good. Probe says, is there an army coming to kill me? And there kind of is. There's an army out. Expansion time and expansion time. Both players expanding. White Raw's a little bit ahead on that one. But yeah, the Reaver stuff is going to be a big deal here. We're going to see Reaver drops attempted. Maybe just as part of a main battle too, right? Sometimes we'll just see Reaver sitting behind Dragoons as they fight. Really doesn't have to be drops. There, wait, have you been here the whole time? Oh, well, maybe that's what happened to the first one. Exactly that. Oh, is White Raw checking to see if there's a third base somewhere or maybe a sneaky second base? I don't rightly know, but either way, there was a shuttle that moved out and then came back home. Didn't like what he saw. Saw a ton of Dragoons and a very nice spread. Like, this is a beautiful setup. Coming in here is a terrible idea. And coming over this way with the shuttle is also a bad idea, too. So I like the positioning here from White Raw, getting additional gateways because he will have a second Nexus here soon. Going to do a huge main arc transfer down to that natural base. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them go down. Wonderful stuff. So this is 8 minutes of both players just sort of being afraid of each other, which it happens. It happens in StarCraft sometimes. Nobody's interested in really moving out, and it's I don't know. I feel like it's a mirror matchup thing, right? Because your units are not faster than anything else. Your units are not stronger than anything else that your opponent can do. So you're going to have a hard time feeling like you've got a super great advantage because your opponent can do everything that you can do. So you're just going to be a little bit more cautious in general in mirror matchups. I feel like, I don't know. I mean Zerg, and I'm just going to be Ling aggressive all the time. Because my Muta control is bad, and like I'd rather the game just end at the Ling stage of things than try to go for Mutalisks. Either way, Reavers are here, baby! Good probe pull. Really nice probe pull. Ah! Dragoon dies. And you're like, wait, we'll go after probes, individual probes here. Where's the response? Where's the response? Okay, so that one... You can't show with one Dragoon and be like, that's my response. How many fleas? I guess all the Dragoons are coming back. So, fine. Whatever. Some probes died. It's 27 to 37 workers in favor of White Raw now. So, he's got the economic advantage. He's looking great. 19 says, that was bad. That was not good for me. Losing a bunch of economy like that, I need to get something done here. So that gives you an injection of mirror matchup courage, where you try to show up and kill your opponent, do some damage to him because your economy just got murderized, and you got to do something. You're just going to keep falling further and further behind. That's how StarCraft is. Brr. Anyway, Citadel of Adun on the way from Whiterun. Maybe speed for Zealots, maybe some DTs. DTs are a big part of this matchup as well. I think we see DTs, Reaver drops, and Storm drops in this matchup more than any other matchup. I really do. Not that they're, again, not that they don't show up in other matchups, but hey, yeah, these, no. Horribly outnumbered. Whiterun says, well, let's see. I murdered your economy. See, either you're spending resources to rebuild your economy, or you're spending resources to make an army, but it can't be as big as mine because your economy is not good. But then coming up this ramp totally stinks, so that's why this is an interesting map. Like, the shortest distance between your base and the enemies, you have to go up this ramp or down this ramp, and that kind of sucks both ways. They just go around, right? You just kind of come up around this way, and that's much more wide open space to go. But Whiterun says, you know what? I think we're good. I really do. Let's just sit here on 2 bases. Let's have the better economy. Let's continue to pump our money, spend it as fast as it comes in here, working on upgrades. Yeah, going for that speed upgrade for the Zealots. Whiterun is going for a Templar Archives. So this could, again, be DTs or Storm drops, or just regular Storm. Again, Storm as part of regular Dragoon versus Dragoon battles is fairly common in this matchup as well. So High Templar on the way from 19. He's got that tech out faster than Whiterun does. And yeah, just going up that ramp is just a completely losing scenario for Whiterun. He needs to go around. It's not that hard. This is really wide open. Your whole army can fit up here and around here. Sure, there's 2 Reavers waiting for you, but you got your own Reavers inside this shuttle right here. Yeah, waiting for additional drops. We got Dragoons along this way. Not very, I don't know. It's a really nice landing spot here. The last place that Whiterun ran. I don't know why 19 isn't watching for that one, but anyway. An observer just got sniped. I don't know whose it was. I assume it was 19's because it was on Whiterun's side of the map. It would make only make sense for that to be the case. 128 to 114 supply here at 12 minutes. Both players getting stormed. 19's a little bit ahead on that count, and Whiterun taking a 3rd base very close to 19's base here. Look at this, to his main, just like spitting distance. Sure, you have to fly across it, but hey. And here comes Whiterun. Ready to go. Reaver's up. I'm going to Reaver up this ramp. Oh, that's kind of a good idea. Do that. He changed his mind. He decided to just back the heck on out here. This has been a really, really passive PvP. There was the one Reaver drop that did some work, and other than that, it's been like, okay, observers have been sniped, a couple Dragoons have died. That's about it. So both players just playing it very, very close. Close to the vest, close to the chest. I've heard it both ways. I'm actually not sure which way is the correct one. Maybe it's one of those things where both are accurate, and English is just dumb that way with its idioms, and there was an original way, but then it was said the other way so many times too that both are just accepted as correct now. That happens sometimes in English. We're very accommodating that way. It's good, and it can be bad too. Like the fact that literally means not literally, and literally. English, you dumb sometimes. Just because people are using a word wrong enough doesn't make the word mean its opposite as well. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. All right, let's go. Let's go, Whiterun. Let's move here. Is he waiting to get maxed out? He might just be waiting to get maxed out. It says, this is good enough. This is fine. We're here. Man, what have I been watching recently? As long as we're not doing anything. Says 19. Says Whiterun. Says 19. Been watching Perry Mason on HBO. That's been interesting for sure. Just high quality HBO stuff. John Lithgow's in there. Lithgow? I don't actually know. Tatiana Maslany's in there, and I love her. She's a fantastic actress. So yeah, overall, good show. Enjoyed a lot so far. I'm sure I'm late to the party on that one, but also been watching season 3 of The Boys, which has been excellent too. That's on Prime. And Obi-Wan out there on the Disney Plus. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening. I would say The Boys is probably the best thing that I'm watching right now. It's just, I mean, it's season 3, right? So season 1, it's kind of this, oh wow, look, they're really going after the concept of superhero culture and kind of dissecting it and deconstructing it into what it would really be if power corrupted, right? And absolute power corrupted absolutely. And what if the heroes are people we're supposed to fear instead of have them be our protectors, you know? And now that we're on Season 3, they are just taking it in directions that it's like, okay, all right, I'm on board here. It's very, very good. The dude that plays Homelander, gosh, what's his name? I can't remember his name, but his acting is excellent. I think everyone's acting is pretty excellent in that one. So yeah, The Boys is great. Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. 19's got a third base. This is the most passive macro game I have ever cast, quite possibly. Astounding. I guess, okay, look, there are TVTs that are pretty passive as well. You get your tank lines set up, right? At like 15 minutes or so, and then nothing happens for the next 30 minutes. We get those every once in a while. Man, DTs, Archons, cool. We're just gonna mash faces here in the middle of the map. Meet me at the town square at high noon, and that's what this is. And Whiter's like, I guess I'm maxed out, and 19's like, I guess I'm maxed out. They're both maxed out. Okay, who has an upgrade advantage? +1 attack for gateway units for White Raw. No attack upgrades yet for 19. So upgrade advantage to the Ukrainian. I don't know what 19's nationality is, actually. I'm going to try to drop. Is anyone going to do that? It's a 4th base from White Raw. He's got Zealots making sure that a 4th base from 19 doesn't work. Okay, I guess we're going. I guess this is it then. So Archons are in, Storm's in, DT's in the mix as well. Okay, I got some abject chaos here just in the middle of the map. Both players going to town. Is there no detection for 19? That DT is getting some really solid hits off. Did he snipe the obs? I don't know, but it looks like 19's kind of winning this thing, except for the fact there's a DT swinging away who's already got 3 kills and is whittling down your Dragoon count really effectively here. This DT is still happening. 19 wins that engagement. Wow. But he doesn't have detection. I know he brought some with him, but they must have gotten sniped by White Raw. Beautiful control by him. And now the DTs are just like dying because there's an observer here. 94 to 94 supply as soon as that DT dies. So it's as close as we can be. 19 actually has a bigger bank than White Raw does, but that just means he's not spending it as efficiently, and he should be bopping into that. He has enough, obviously, supply available to do that. Also, he needs a 4th base. If he's going to keep up with this thing, it's very rare for a game to get to the 20-minute mark and the player with fewer bases wins in a mirror matchup. Obviously, a Zerg player wants to be a base up on their enemy, and so, yeah, a Protoss will beat a Zerg when it's 4 bases to 3 and the Protoss is on 3 bases. But in a mirror matchup, not really the case. Drop from 19, which White Raw sniffed out. I think probably that observer. So 1 probe dies to the Reaver drop. Oh, is that a hit? That was a hit. Oh, the DT snipes the Reaver before we get back inside the shuttle. That hurts. That hurts immensely. All right. Oh. Oof. 128 to 121 supply. I don't know who's going to win this game. Again, White Raw has the 4th base up. Oh, it looks like he sent all of his probes to mine, but then didn't actually tell them to mine. 19 has another question, to which White Raw will respond with a question of his own. Very philosophical man, White Raw is. Woof! So we got that one big engagement in the middle that TK won and knocked everybody down to about 90 supply. Oh, the workers are working now. There's your 4th base. 4th base on the way from 19 now. The 12 o'clock position. I love that position a lot because then you can easily take this for your 5th and just kind of defend all of it. White Raw scouting pylon gets scouted itself. 19 kills it with a Zealot who has... What? My gosh, +1 attack takes so long. He's been getting +1 for a while now. DK! Ah! You mean Dark Templar? Which are dead, mind you. White Raw says, well, if your army's up there, I'm going to just try to sneak through the middle of the map. But no, says 19. Pulls back to the position where he can handle it. Very, very nicely done. And back to the middle we go. So it is 2 attack, 1 shields for White Raw. Still no upgrades. From 19, that +1 attack is almost done. It's almost done. I think he was getting shields earlier too, but he's not anymore. I don't know if he canceled it. That is only Forge. Hey, +1 just finished for him. Man, his only Forge is at his 3rd base. That's a weird place for your Forge to be. Either way, hey, 19's maxed out. White Raw is not, but it's very close. It's 193 supply for the Ukrainian. We're just gonna mash faces here again in the middle of the map, gentlemen. It seems like that's gonna be the play here. Okay, splits, pre-splits here from 19. He wants to make sure he gets good angles if White Raw comes to kill him, but now he's in the dark. He doesn't know what's going on because, well, his observer got sniped. So he's completely in the dark here. I'm gonna keep it on this for just a second. He's like, well, White Raw's out there somewhere, like a shark in the darkness. Ooh, here comes a High Templar. Let's kill that. And then he's like, oh, here he comes. All right, I set up my trap. Spring the trap. Come in from all different directions. Rah! Top side, right side. Storm all the things. Get Archons in the mix, too. I'm not sure who's storming who here, but everything's getting stormed, including Archons, which, sure, that's a good way to kill them, I guess. It's 136 to 101 total supply. The upgrade advantage here of 3-2 for White Raw is enough, and he wins the game. So that was a 21.5-minute PvP that had exactly 2 engagements. Dos engagements. There was the 1 Reaver drop, and there was another Reaver drop that was attempted, but I think killed 1 probe over there on the left side, and that was it, right? Yes, it was. Absolutely amazing. Just an amazing display of patience by both players. It's a it's a PvP, so the P stands for patience today. Oh, incredible. Absolutely incredible stuff here. And then White Raw just gets an upgrade advantage and wins. That's what it was. He was maxed out with 19. They both had similar banks. They had similar base counts. Their worker count was the same. He didn't win this thing because he had more stuff. He won this thing because he had better upgrades. End of discussion. And I swear 19 is going for a shield upgrade, and I don't know if he canceled it or what, or if that Forge died to something that I completely missed, which is possible. But both player storms were good. I don't think White Raw storms were any better than 19's were. There were no Reavers engaged in that battle either, which I find odd. I feel like a couple Reavers in the mix, just getting big shots off on clumps of Dragoons is really useful and really good against Archons too, right? But it was mostly Archons and Zealots and Dragoons. And the Archons are kind of here just to deal with the enemy Zealots, because if you have 100 Zealots, then the enemy Dragoons are going to die. But if you have a couple Archons to deal with the Zealots, then suddenly, bam, equilibrium is reachieved. All right, man, White Raw gets the win from this PvP replay. Got off Team Liquid. 123,000 points there for 19. 142,000 for White Raw. Ended up outkilling the enemy Protoss by about 20 or so. 19 actually outproduced White Raw here by a full 9 units, but got outkilled by 20, and that's the story of the day right there. That's what your upgrades do for you. A bit of a premature GG as well. I think 19 could have pulled back, maybe made some more units, a bit of a counterattack. He probably was going to lose his 4th, though, and that was going to be really hard to come back from. So he saw the writing on the wall, said, meh, White Raw outspent 19 by a little bit. By about 4,000, which is interesting. Very interesting. All right, well, that's it, Daniel. I hope you enjoyed the PvP today. It was a tiny bit anticlimactic, but hey, it was a good show of patience and just putting together a 20-minute game where you have the composition you want with the upgrades that you want and harassing your opponent at a tiny bit and knocking them back down a peg and then using that to get the win. Ta-da! Ta-da! All right, good. So that is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.